Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the channel. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Hope your day and your week are off to a fantastic start. Got a new day, which of course means a new MLB Player Prop video to share with you guys. But first, as always, people, make sure hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and drop a comment down below. It helps the channel grow, and it means a ton to us. Got an exciting MLB slate on tonight. I got 5 picks to hand out for today's slate of games. However, before we do that, we have to do a quick little recap of what happened last night. And we had a very good night, guys. A 4-0 sweeperoonie last night, guys. George Springer, Spencer Steer, Brian Hayes, and Austin Slater, all 4 of them cashed with flying colors. A fantastic run for us yesterday. It was a good day to have a day, apparently. And look, guys, this is not new for us. If you've been watching these videos, again, hit that subscribe button. We have been hot all year long. Just to show you guys, that's my prop record this season overall. 72-49 this year when taking my MLB props. It's been a great year so far. We've had quite a few sweeps of late. This is, I think, my 3rd sweep in the last week and a half. We've been on the hot run here on the video series. So let's see if we can keep that going today. 5 picks today. But, you know, of course, first, before we get into today's video now, we're celebrating the sweep yesterday. We got to break out the money gun. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You see that? I did that for you guys. I did that for you guys. I love to do that for you guys. I love when you guys can make money off of my picks. It's one of the reasons why I love doing what I'm doing, truthfully. I'm not just saying that to say it. I genuinely mean it, as I try to clean up all the dollar bills now that I have all over the place. I mean that. I love when I can give you guys winners. It makes... I care more if you guys win than if I win. Like, of course, I bet my picks, and I win money off of these picks as well, but I care more when you guys win because it makes me feel good that I can help you guys get some winners. So, without further ado, with that out of the way, 5 picks, today's MLB slate. Let's see if we can keep this hot streak going. Let's go for another sweep tonight and win you guys some more motherfucking money. I'm going to go ahead and jump right into the Outlier screen here, guys. If you don't know what Outlier is, they are the best sports betting tool on the market, and they're the sponsor of today's video and every player prop video I do here on the channel. Guys, there's nothing better I can say about Outlier. The best thing I can say is that we have a 72-49 prop record this year, and Outlier has been the primary source of my research for all of those props. So, guys, I mean, I don't know how else better to show you guys than myself. I am a success story of Outlier. I use Outlier constantly, every single day. You see it every video. I use it for my props, and I win, and we keep on winning. 72-49 record this year using Outlier as my primary sports betting tool. Guys, you will not be disappointed. I promise you guys, you will not be disappointed. I'm only giving you guys a fraction of what Outlier provides. There's a special link down below in our description that give you guys a 7-day free trial to check Outlier out for yourself. It really is the best sports betting tool, and the best part is you try it for 7 days, you don't like it, you cancel, no cost to you guys at all, but I'm telling you guys, it really helps you become a better sports bettor. All right, guys, our first prop of today's slate, we're going Phillies, Tigers, 6:40 p.m. first pitch. We're going Bryce Harper here, under 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs. Now, the best place to get this is BetMGM. You have it for plus 100. However, also available on DraftKings, Underdog, and on PrizePicks for varying odds. As always, guys, do not be afraid to shop around on multiple sportsbooks to find the best odds. And don't feel bad. You're not a degenerate. Trust me. Maybe you are, but if you are, it's okay. It's a bet on multiple sports books. It's fine. It's the smartest way. If you're going to be sports betting, it's the smartest thing to do is to use odds on multiple sports books to find the best odds. So if you have one bet going on FanDuel and one on BetMGM and one on DraftKings, and your mom tells you need help, obviously, if you do, you go search for that help, but don't feel too ashamed because it's smart sports betting. All jokes aside, though, guys, please bet responsibly. All right, Bryce Harper, under 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs. Now, this is a little bit of a risk here. We're taking a risk here, taking the plus money here for BetMGM, or almost even odds on DraftKings here, minus 105. The data's not good. Hand up. This is a risky bet, but I'm taking the risk because I like the spot. Now, overall, you see the last 10 games, it's been bad. It's been bad for us in this case of cashing under. He's been cashing the over consistently, including last night. He had a massive game last night versus the Tigers. 3 hits, 3 runs, and 5 RBI. So a pretty incredible game from Harper yesterday. So far this year, he does have a 45% hit rate on this under, which is not good, but it's not as bad as you'd think. He is averaging 2.6 HRRs per game. 33 out of 73 games, he's cashed the under here. So a lot of red. You see red pretty much across the board. Now, so Tasso, why do you like this prop? First and foremost, and it may sound stupid, I like fading players coming off a game like this one. And there's no science behind it. There's not a ton of data to go off of. I just, when a player has a game, in any sports, it's not just this, when a player has a game like this, I know Bryce Harper's a superstar, but when a player has a game like that, You know the public seeing that 1.5 line. The average sports bettor is going to say, oh, he had 11 hit HRRs yesterday. I'm going to go ahead and hammer that 1.5 line. I like to fade him because I feel like the public's going to be so heavy on the line now after the game he's had yesterday, and a couple days ago he also had 9. So the public's going to be probably heavy on this spot, especially when you can get it for minus 119 or minus 120. The public will be all over the over 1.5 line. I'm going to go ahead and take the under. Where they go high, I go low. Shout out Dave Portnoy, Barstool Sports, as one of his iconic lines. But it's the truth. I'm going to go ahead and fade the public here. I'm going to take the under. I'm going to take the plus money play and fade him coming off a massive game. And look, there's some data to support this. He's going up against Tariq Skubal, who's been one of the best pitchers in Major League Baseball. This is not just gut feeling or me being dumb or whatever. There is some science behind it. Bryce Harper this year batting .297, about the same versus left-handed pitchers at .298. But the big thing here is Tariq Skubal. He was actually versus left-handed batters pitching even better, which I didn't think you could do considering how good he's been pitching this year. But a 1.56 ERA and a 1.55 batting average allowed against left-handed batters. Now a smaller sample size, of course, only 64 batters faced, but 64 batters faced is still a decent enough sample size to go off of. And the moral of the story is that Tariq Skubal has been fantastic. I know Bryce Harper's a superstar, but coming off that big game, going up against Tariq Skubal, I go ahead and take the under here for plus money. It's a risk, absolutely, but I'm going to go ahead and take the risk here. All right, guys, second prop of today's slate. So we're moving on to the Subway Series. Yankees, Mets, 7:10 p.m. first pitch. We're going Garrett Cole, over 5.5 strikeouts here. You can get that for FanDuel for minus 122. Also available on DraftKings, BetMGM, Caesars, and on Underdog for varying odds. Now, obviously, with Garrett Cole, all of his data, for most of his data, I should say, is going to come from last season because he's only pitched one game so far this year, which was last week versus the Orioles on June 19th, and what was a 7-6 win for Baltimore. He did have 5 strikeouts, so he didn't hit this the last time he pitched, but he just missed the mark there in that matchup. However, Garrett Cole overall last year, 64% hit rate on this strikeout number last season. You see in 21 out of 33 games he cashed. He's averaged 6.73 strikeouts per game last season. And looking at the head-to-head data, the one time he faced off with the Mets last year, he had 8 strikeouts in what was it ended up being a 4-3 win for the Mets, but he did have 8 strikeouts in that matchup. Again, there's nothing really to go off of for this year. He's only had one game, and he did have 5 strikeouts against a really good Orioles lineup. And the data down below, look, it's not fantastic. The Mets, I wouldn't say they're a great team in terms of the strikeout rate, but they're about around middle of the road. You see they ranked 12th overall this year with a 21.2% strikeout rate. And the last 30 games, 13th at 21.6. So not the best matchup of all time. The Mets lineup actually hasn't been terrible. You see batting average, still not top 10, just outside the top 10. But I'm going to take the risk here with Garrett Cole. I think that coming his second game back, he's had a little bit of rest now. I think obviously that first game getting back in the swing of things. But when he's healthy and when he's pitching, Garrett Cole, unfortunately as a Red Sox fan, he is one of the best, well, not against the Red Sox, but overall, he is one of the best pitchers in Major League Baseball. I do think he's due to have a big game here. And 6 strikeouts against his Mets lineup, I think he can do it. All right, guys, before we dive into our third prop, if you're still watching this far into the video, first and foremost, thank you very much. But if you are still watching at this point, please comment sweep down below in the comments. Comment sweep down below if you're still watching. Appreciate you guys, as always, for watching all the way through the videos. And as always, unlike Ev, who, of course, puts his picks in the pinned comment, my picks are in a outlier link that are in the description below. I have it highlighted that this is the pick link. You go ahead, you click that link, it takes you right to the page, and I will show you at the end of the video, as I always do, what that page looks like to give you guys the instructions on how to go about using it. So go ahead, comment sweep down below if you're still watching at this point in the video. Our third prop from today's slate, we're going Seth Lugo, Royals, Marlins, 8:10 p.m. first pitch. We're going Seth Lugo under 6.5 hits allowed. We're getting on DraftKings for minus 140, also available on BetMGM, Caesars, and on Underdog. Now, this prop, I'm going to be honest, this is a home run prop, pun intended. This opened up at like minus 130. It's rising quickly because the public is on it, which sometimes isn't the best thing, but in this case, I just love the prop. I'm actually surprised this line is where it's at, to be honest. And with Seth Lugo so far in 2024, a 75% hit rate. 12 out of 16 games this year, he has cashed under. He's averaging 5.44 hits allowed. Now, it's pretty close. You see he hovers around that 6-hit mark. But he's been pretty consistent all year long in cashing this over. You look at the head-to-head data. The last time he faced off with the Miami Marlins last season, he gave up just 3 hits and what was a 4-0 win. Now, of course, Seth Lugo was with the Padres at the time. He was not with the Royals. But when last time he faced with the Marlins, he did cash the under, giving up just 3 hits in that game. Whatever way you want to paint this, guys, it's a fantastic picture. 9 of his last 10 games, he's cashed the under, averaging 5.4 hits allowed per game. Only once, which was versus the Yankees on June 10th. The Yankees are one of the best hitting lineups in Major League Baseball right now. And the big moral of the story on this one, guys, you see, obviously, he's failed to exceed 6.5 hits allowed in 10 of his last 11 games, 5.2 hits allowed average over those 11 games. The match is fantastic here. You see the Marlins this year, overall 236 batting average is bottom half of Major League Baseball. Over the last 30 games, they're even worse at 232, which is 19th in the majors, which is not very good. Their strikeout rate is pretty high, 24.3%, which is bottom 10 in the league, which is good for us. Their BABIP, bottom half of the league. So the moral of the story, I keep saying moral of the story. The moral of the story being this is not a very good Marlins hitting team against Seth Lugo, who's having one of the best seasons in Major League Baseball. You see 10-2 record, 2.42 ERA. Really good numbers for Seth Lugo. Really solid spot here. Minus 140 is a pretty good prop to go ahead and throw in a parlay. All right, guys, our fourth prop in today's slates, we're going Rockies-Astros, 8:10 p.m. first pitch. We're going Michael Toglia, over half total base, and we get this on DraftKings for minus 110 odds. Also available on Caesars, Prize Picks, and on Underdog. You see cashes in 8 of his last 10 games, pretty good mark. You stretch it out to his last 20 games, still a 65% hit rate, 13 of his last 20 games. On the 2024 season so far, now he's only played in 31 games for the Rockies this year, but in 18 out of those 31 games, which is, of course, a 58% hit rate, he has cashed this over. He's averaging 1.52 total bases per game this season, which is a pretty good number here. And look at the head-to-head data. The last time he faced off with the Houston Astros, which was of July of last season, he did have one hit in what was a 4-1 win for the Astros at the time. Looking down below at the splits, it's still pretty good across the board here. You see Toglia is batting 194 overall this year, which is not very good, but versus right-handed pitchers, he is batting 230. His BABIP increases to 293. His ISO 270. His extra base hit percentage, although it does decrease slightly, it's still very high at 47.1%. And looking at Hunter Brown of the Astros, not having the best of years, a 4.72 ERA with a 2.63 batting average allowed. Now, versus left-handed batters, that does decrease to 3.95 ERA and a 2.55 batting average allowed, which is not good for us, but still, overall, that number of 3.95 ERA and 2.55 batting average allowed is still not very good. It's better than his normal numbers, but it's still I would say it's a terrible number, but it's a mediocre number to say the best. But so Hunter Brown, even versus left-handed batters, although it is better, it's still not that good. But you do see that his slugging percentage is actually slightly higher at 439, and his extra base hit percentage is a pretty good amount higher at 37.5%. Whenever you see that matchup here, that high extra base hit percentage from a hitter and the high extra base hit percentage from a pitcher, you go ahead and you take the bases prop. I like this prop here for Michael Toglia. Of course, there's always the risk that he may not be in the lineup tonight, which seems to be happening consistently with us. I'm still going to take the prop anyways. I do like the spot here. The data's pretty good overall, and the splits look pretty decent. All right, guys, the fifth and final prop from today's slate. I'm going to go right off the bat and tell you guys this is a BetMGM exclusive. I never normally do that. It's just I saw this prop. It's only available on BetMGM, and I know some of you guys do use it. I don't want to take that away from the people who do use BetMGM. I like the prop, so if you are on BetMGM, you have this prop. If you're not on BetMGM yet, you can obviously go ahead and join. I don't have like a sponsor or anything. I'm just letting you guys know. It's a BetMGM exclusive. You get it for minus 110 on BetMGM. We're going A's Angels, 9:38 p.m. first pitch. Miguel Andujar under half a strikeout here. And the data is just really good here overall. You see the last 10 games, 80% hit rate, 0.2 strikeouts per game. He struck out once versus the Twins on the 23rd and once versus the Twins on the 21st. I'll be looking at the head-to-head data and the season total data. On the season total data, a 59% hit rate on this under on the year. In 16 out of 27 games this year, he has not struck out, which is very good. 0.52 strikeouts per game, so pretty good numbers overall there. But most importantly, the head-to-head data here. The last time he faced off with the Angels, which was yesterday on June 24th, he didn't strike out and was a 5-1 win for the Angels. And this is all about the splits here, guys. Miguel Andujar, not a ton of data to go off of, a smaller sample size, but still enough to go off of. You see a pretty low strikeout percentage, just a 12.8% strikeout percentage this year. He's batting .324 when he actually plays. Now, it's tough to go off of versus left-handed pitcher data because you see only 13 plate appearances this year versus left-handed pitchers, but in those small sample size, a 583 batting average, 0 strikeouts versus left-handed pitchers this season. That's pretty good. But on the flip side, Tyler Anderson for the Angels, a pretty low strikeout percentage of 16.4%, which is pretty low. And it gets even worse for his right-handed batters. It goes to 16%. His strikeouts per walks, 1.5. So across the board, you got a pitcher who doesn't strike out a lot, and you have who doesn't throw a lot of strikeouts, and you have a batter who doesn't strike out much at all this season. You see Miguel Andujar has failed to exceed half a strikeout in 9 of his last 11 games, only averaging 0.2 strikeouts per game over his last 11 games. So a really solid prop. Again, apologies, only available on BetMGM, but overall, it is a really solid prop. All right, guys, so there it is, and this is the page I told you guys about earlier. When you click that outlier link, you go ahead to this page right here, and it'll take you all to these picks. So there are all 5 picks from today's slate, all readily available to you, and it's very simple. You can go ahead and just click on the add to bet slip. It'll take you right to the sports book and plug it all in for you. See, you can go multiple sports books here. Again, right now it looks like DraftKings and BetMGM have the most props available, 4 on each of those. But you can go ahead and shop around multiple sports books. You see, the only prop that only has one singular sports book is the Miguel Andujar prop, which is only on BetMGM. But again, you click the link here, takes you right to this page down below. And guys, that is it for me today. Thank you very much, as always, for watching. One more time, guys, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and drop a comment down below. Until tomorrow when we're back with another MLB Player Prop video, I hope you're all winners. Have a fantastic day.